Wednesday, October 19th, as we'll get more into our Greek mythology. We started a blue sheet thing today, where you don't have to pick it up from my desk. You can also get it from my website. If you're dead, you'll just get it when you come back to me. And then from there, we're also going to be talking about poetry test corrections, which can also be found on my website. You can also get them from my desk if you're here. It's due once you get done. You don't have to go through and fix all of them, unless you missed all of them. Just fix the ones you got wrong, and then make sure I get your notebook from you so I can grade that and get it back. And then wearing orange today for the whole anti-bullying. And from there, we got down to Trident before. So let's do the quick speedy version and see what you remember from your brain from yesterday. And then we'll start introducing our new things. Chaos.
God.
Because what was chaos?
Everything.
Not everything.
Thinking that, like, it was a big ball of pudding.
Big ball of pudding, and then eventually splits to form the first two gods. Who were the first two gods that formed to create?
Father Sky and Mother Earth.
There you go, sky and earth. And it was the big swirling ball, which eventually forms the places and things and other stuff and gods, but chaos itself was just a swirling ball of pudding. And then Kronos. And then, where do we have a picture of Kronos?
Somewhere.
Right over there. What's the name of the weapon he has in his hands? The scythe. Nicely done. And that was what he uses to attack his father, but that's a story we're going to get to next week. But it's because he had his own issues too. And Hades goes in.
God.
And
place.
God and place. Once again, picture right over there of Hades. With that, was Hades evil?
Yeah.
What was he?
No, he was shy.
Shy and quiet. No more evil than any other shy and quiet kid who doesn't want to have to talk to people. But he also was not very creative. So what does he name the place where he lives?
Hades.
He names the place where he lives Hades. And so the problem with that is that, and I don't know why it didn't work for other gods. Like you could say Zeus's name or Poseidon's name and they wouldn't show up. But the fear was if you said Hades' name, he would show up, which is ironic because he's shy. The last one he would want to, but anyway. Because of that, they can't call the place where he lives Hades. So what do they call it?
Underworld.
And that's where Underworld comes in as a place. They also wouldn't say the name of the god. They never just said Hades. What they would say instead was the Dark One or the Rich One or something along those lines. He was the richest one because he lived underground where all the gold and jewels are. And so he was thought to have the most gold and jewels. Problem is, he didn't care about gold and jewels because he's God. Titans! Where does Titans go? What is the difference between a god and a titan?
Titans are the big scary thingies that made the gods.
Correct, my boy. Nothing at all. Gods and titans are the same thing. It's like saying the difference between people and humans. Titans was just the race of the really big creatures that could stomp on you if they wanted to. Where does Mercurial go?
Things.
Other stuff. It comes from a Greek god. And what god does it come from?
His name is
Mercury. But what was his Greek name?
Hermes.
Hermes. And we'll talk more about Mercurial here in a little bit. And where do Olympians go? Gods. How many Olympians can we have at one time?
12.
12. Which is why we have the 6 big posters there and the 6 big posters there. Those are the 12 Olympians. So you have the 6 up there and those. Is every Olympian a Titan?
No.
So I just keep waiting. Are you going to keep going back and forth?
No.
Let's do it this way. Is every Titan an Olympian?
No.
That is correct. Is every Olympian a Titan?
Yeah.
Just like is every 7th grader, is every hero a 7th grader?
No.
The answer is
No.
No, every hero.
a 7th grader.
No.
Not every 7th grader is a hero.
But not every 7th grader.
Oh,
is a hero.
yeah.
Like all
There you go.
thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs.
Right.
Boy, you
And
need to
Atlas.
stop.
And boy.
Gods and
and
things.
work. Atlas goes
Gods and
in.
things.
God.
Atlas, the god, super strong. Where do we find him? He's on?
In the world.
Not on a map.
On the world.
On top of a mountain. And he's the one that can look out and see the entire world. And then because of the fact, what's he holding up? The sky. In the pictures, he's holding up the world. But in the mythology, he's holding up the sky. And then we get to the Atlas, which is a book of
World. Maps.
Maps of the world. There you go. Combining them together. A book of maps that connect to the world. And then, thank you, by the way. Sticks goes in.
Gods and places.
You're on top of it. Why is Styx a place?
Because she turned into a river.
Turned into a river. What's wrong with her being a river?
She was poisoned somebody's life and she died.
The fact that she was not a very nice person, so the river becomes nasty. So because of that, where do we put the river?
In the
In
underworld.
the underworld, in Hades. Who turns her into a river?
Uranus.
Zeus turns her into a river. And then we get to scythe. Where does that go?
Things.
What is a scythe?
A weapon. Or it's a farming thingy.
Farmy, truly weapon, cool thing with a little blade. Hopefully, if you did not do it last night, you have a chance to do it tonight. To make sure you teach your parents what you've been learning at school. You take a stick and then you tape a knife to it and then chase your dad around the house. Mythology. But technically, you can wait until we get to that story next week, where we learn about how Kronos attacked his father with the scythe, and then you can act it out. It's all kinds of fun. I'm sure your dad will love it because you're showing that you're learning at school. Gia, where does Gia
Gods
go?
and places.
Gods, places is correct. Because what's the name for Gia?
Mother Earth.
Mother Earth. And so you have Gia who's Mother Earth, and who is Gia married to?
Uranus.
Done. And what's another name for Uranus?
Underworld.
Father Sky.
Father Sky. So you had Mother Earth and Father Sky, or Gia and Uranus. And then we got to Nike.
God.
God and thing.
And a thing. Well done. And with Nike, she was one of only 2 gods to have
Wings.
wings. Do you
And
remember,
she was the god of victory.
do you remember the other god to have wings?
Yeah, the baby. The other one.
Nice.
Cupid.
Roman name was Cupid.
His,
Aphrodite's son. Do you remember his Greek name?
is it
Hermes.
It's not. It was Eros. ER.
Harmonica.
So it's the little guy that's right up there. But his Greek name was Eros. Eros. Only him. Now, and I had kids yesterday mention the fact that Hermes, like Mr. Brovicast, Hermes has wings. He doesn't. His shoes have wings. And he could take those off whenever he wanted to. But with Eros and Nike, the wings grew out of their back. They could not remove their wings without like a hacksaw. So because of that, they were considered the only gods to have wings. And Nike was the only god to...
Fly.
Well, I'm sorry, not the only god. Nike was the god of...
Flying.
victory and stuff like that, which is when the shoe company comes in and they name their company after that god. And what is the symbol on the side?
Wings.
It's supposed to be the wingy thing swooping forward. Chavez.
And another thing how you know that Hermes shoes are the ones that have wings is if you see Percy Jackson when his son gives him the shoes.
Also true. And that's also the symbol for track that we'll get to. When you have like the little track shoe with the wing on it, it comes from Hermes. Zaire?
So did Hermes actually use those shoes to fly or not?
Yeah, all the time. Beto?
Wouldn't there then be 13 Olympians? Because there's 2 of them in that picture.
We're going to talk about that. Tyler. Bring you over there so you can focus. So you can work. I keep distracting you. I apologize.
No, I was trying to pay attention.
That's good, but you're going to have to get work done too.
But why can't I do it at home?
Because you're
We're
not
trying to
doing it at
learn.
home.
We're not.
What if I do?
Shh, we're trying to learn.
I want to learn.
Trident! We've not
Things.
gotten to this one yet, did we? Or did we?
Yeah,
So where does Trident go?
Things.
There's stuff on the
Things.
desk.
You put it on the ground. Special
Try to shove it.
Nicely, sure. Good job. Trident!
Now what if his
You said it
eyes
was a thing. What god carries the trident? There's the guy that's up there. There's your 3 pokey thing. And then also
Pan.
right there, the 3 pokey thing.
So
And
it's
then there, the 3
technically
pokey thing.
Aquaman.
Good. And Aquaman has his 3 pokey thing. Because tride in Greek or Latin means 3. And dent means to make small hole in things. So trident means it can make 3 holes in you at one time. And then sacrifices. We've not got to that one yet. And now we get to go back to you showing me which one you think it goes into. Sacrifices, gods, places, things, other stuff. I can see either one. I put in other stuff, but I can see it being a thing. Depends on how you want to classify it. The reason I wanted to throw sacrifices in there is because the Greeks believed in sacrifices. They did not believe in human sacrifice. like what you see with like the Incans and the Aztecs, with the whole cutting a person and pulling out the heart and the thumpy thumpy. The Greeks did not believe in that. The Greeks believed in sacrificing, but not people. You had to sacrifice. Zaire, scoot forward.
What?
You're
Scoot forward.
distracting.
So you can stop banging into his desk. Scoot forward.
I'm not. No, because he keeps on pulling the desk back over. Like
Just
that.
scoop over.
Pushing it.
It's okay. So the Greeks believed in sacrificing food. Anytime that you wanted to sacrifice to a god, whether you were asking a favor, you would have to offer up something. So if your crops weren't growing and you wanted to sacrifice to Demeter, you would take your Twinkie, snap it in half, and then shake it up there. It's like, make my food grow, and then throw your Twinkie onto the ground. If you were trying to make someone fall in love with you, you would go to Aphrodite and take your bowl of honeycomb and be like, make Bobby fall in love with me, and then shake your bowl of honeycomb. So you would sacrifice food to him. And you don't stab the food. That's not how you sacrifice. You just sort of take it and then hand it off. That was the idea of sacrificing. Beto,
How did you find them? Like,
the gods?
yeah.
We're going to talk about that. And Cyclops. Gods, places, things, other stuff. Cyclops could either be a god or an other stuff. I just put it into other stuff, but you can put it into god. The Cyclops, there were 3 of them, and they were the older brothers of the Titans. They had the same parents, and they existed before the Titans came around. They were really, really big. They were really good at being able to shape things out of metal, and they looked different. Because how did they look?
Metal.
Nicely done. They had one gigantic eye. Mr. Brovicast, Cyclops means one eye. Actually, Cyclops does not mean one eye. It's made of 2 root words, CYCL, sickle, and then ops. That CYCL, you see that in the word bicycle, tricycle, motorcycle.
That means 3.
Not 3.
2.
Not 2.
1.
No, doesn't mean a number at all.
5.
What do those things have in common?
Circle.
Circle. And so bicycle means wheel, sickle, 2-wheel. Tricycle, 3-wheel. Motorcycle,
4.
motorized wheel.
2.
And so sickle just means wheel. The ops, O-P-S, not like Black Ops like the video game, but ops as in optometrist, the doctor, or an optical illusion. Do you guys know what ops connects to? Beanie? Your eyes. An optometrist is an eye doctor. An optical illusion is a thing that tricks your eyes.
Oh,
So to put it together,
3
their
eyes.
name meant
3 eyes.
no.
Wheel eyes.
Oh,
Real
circle
eyes.
eyes.
Because it looked, the Greeks did not call them one-eyed creatures. They called them wheel-eyed creatures. Because they thought it looked like someone took a giant wagon wheel, walked up and went whack in the middle of their forehead. So it looked like they had a giant wheel just stuck right there. They were called wheel-eyed creatures. Olympus. Gods, places, things, other stuff. Olympus, it's a place. It was the ruling area where all the gods went to go hang out and what do you call a titan that lives on Olympus? Olympian. How many Olympians can we have?
12.
12 at any time. And so Olympus was sort of like the main area where they got a chance to hang out. Not all of them went there, just the special ones. Whenever they had like parties or meetings, that's where they would go to. Prometheus, God, place, thing, other stuff. Prometheus was a god. He was the first teacher of humans. We're going to find out that humans have issues. We were made out of mud, and we were created by the god of idiots. The god of idiots was Epimetheus. His twin brother was Prometheus. And Prometheus was the guy who came down to teach us fire and make us better and stuff like that. There's also a movie called Prometheus, which connects to Greek mythology, but we'll have to get there. You'll have to wait. Then Iris. Gods, places, things, other stuff. Iris is 2. It is both a god and a thing. Iris was a rainbow god. She was a messenger for Hera. And whenever she came down to Earth, there was a little rainbow behind her. And because she was the god of rainbows, there's a part of your body called the iris, which is going to be the colored part of your eye. Because it's named after the god of the rainbows, because they saw that everyone had different colored eyes. So they thought that part of your body was created by the rainbow god. Thus it's called iris. The pupil is the middle part that's black. And then the iris is the part that goes around. And the last one, Clotho, god, place, thing, other stuff. Clotho is a god. Clotho worked with her two sisters, Lachesis and Atropo, as the three fates. They were the three girls that cut the string that decided how long people were going to live. We also get the word clothing from Clotho because she created the string, and clothing is made out of strings. And so that's where we got the word clothing from, is from this god from the fates. Dear.
Are they in Hercules?
They are Hercules.
They're so crazy.
They're the ones that share the eyeball.
Yeah.
That's not how it was in Greek mythology, but it makes for a fun movie. We are done with the bell work. What we're going to do now is take a look at the blue sheet. We've already answered some of those. Like if you look at question number 1 on there, we've already covered that one. But we're going to go above question 1, where it has those 10 words.
Is the underworld one?
Could be. No, it's not number 1. On there, that blue sheet, we're going to go through and answer where those words connect to Greek mythology. To help you out, if you have the iPad, we downloaded those 2 handouts. That's where it's going to give you the answers for this. Because those 2 handouts you downloaded, one of them had like all the Greek gods, and the other one had the Greek family tree. Using those is going to help us figure out where these different gods or names and words come from. Like the word jovial connects to the Roman name of one of the 12 Olympians. I'll see if you guys can figure out which Olympian it connects to. We talked about the whole Greek and Roman, the 2 different names that connect to them. Well, on one of them, they have a Roman name that looks very similar to jovial. And that's what we're going to try and see if you can get to there. And then the same thing with cereal and volcano. We've already done mercurial, so in theory, that's one you can already answer, but we'll see if we can help you out that in a moment. Can you figure out which Olympian we're going to get jovial from? Bainey.
Zeus or Hera.
Which one?
What question is it?
That very first one next to your finger. Why do you say Zeus and Hera?
Because
Oh, no, just Zeus.
Why just Zeus?
Because his Roman name is Jove.
Is correct. Zeus, because on there it says his Roman name was Jove, Jove, and so we got it from his Roman name. We'll do the Greek one for now. And who was Zeus in Greek
God of the
mythology?
sky.
He was what?
God of the sky.
God of the sky, king of all the gods, the top dog. And so we get this word from him. Do you guys know what jovial means?
No. Jail.
Jail? Not
It sounds like jail.
It does sound like jail. I'll give. If you
Juvenile.
are in jail, you are probably not jovial.
Oh, Christian. Good.
Getting closer.
Good?
Good child.
Oh, I said happy.
I was going to go with happy. I mean, I would hope that if you're in jail that you're probably not. I mean, maybe you could be because it's your safe place. But for the most part, that it means happy. Or on top of the world. The idea being is that the reason they came up with it was they would see people, and if you look like you were happy and having a good time, they said, hey, you must be a lot like the king of the gods. You look like you're having a good time. Zeus looks like he's having a good time. You're very Jove-like, or you're very much like Jove. And eventually it just became calling them jovial, which just meant that you were happy and like Zeus. Unfortunately, that's ironic that we get the word jovial from Zeus. If I tell you it's ironic, we get the word jovial from Zeus, what does that tell you about Zeus? Almost every story of him, he's grumpy. Why we get the word happy from him, I have no idea. Because every story we get into about Zeus is going to be him torturing somebody, him being grumpy about something, or him getting yelled at by somebody. No story involves him being all happy and smiley and going through there and telling good stories and stuff like that. Zaire?
So, what you said on the first one, did you just say that the
Go that
Roman
one.
gods created people?
What's that?
Did you just say that the Roman gods created people?
The Greek gods did, yeah.
I thought, like, Jesus created people.
Right, that's called a different religion. We talked about that? Right, back to here. Cereal, our next one. And on this one, we're going to get that from Lauren.
Demeter.
Demeter.
And what is Demeter's Roman name?
Series.
That's correct. Demeter, who's the girl over here above where Fernando is, the girl that's all in brown and looks like she's hugging a whole bunch of corn, that's Demeter. She's also over here behind Brandenburg and Tyler. Looks like she's sitting on a throne of corn. Demeter And then she's the one over here yelling at Hades, who's once again hugging a whole bunch of wheat. She liked hugging wheat, apparently. But her Roman name was Ceres. And what was she the god of?
Cereal.
God of growing things and cereal and stuff like that. Not cereal. God of growing things and wheat and corn, because cereal, well, you guys know what cereal is?
Grain.
Yes.
So she was God of harvest.
Food. I'm still teaching. Food from grain and stuff like that. And so that's where we got the word cereal from. It meant food from the god Ceres. Okay, nowadays when you guys eat cereal, there's not a whole lot of grain to it, which is the problem. A lot of times it's chocolate-covered sugar balls. But when they first started making cereal, it was basically just a big pile of corn and grass that kids ate, and it tasted disgusting. So in order to make kids eat it, parents would put sugar on your pile of grains and oats. Monday, we'll talk more about covering your grains and oats and sugar. If you are wanting to retake the poetry test, the handout's on my desk. Make sure I get your notebook before you leave. Other than that, see you Monday.